What's up, guys? Hope everybody's okay. Do me a favor, share this feed, please. Everybody, share this feed. I don't see you sharing. I'll know when you're sharing this. This is good for a lot of you guys. All right, this is good for a lot of you guys. So just share this feed right away. Invite all the followers. All right. I want to um I want to tell you guys something really quickly. Okay. Invite everybody you can. All right. I'm going to give you guys some very, very, very good information to a lot of people. First of all, tonight we're going to have a major not a major announcement, but a major seminar. I want to teach all the Forex individuals because, there's a lot of people who have become instantly Forex professionals in the last few months. You guys don't know nothing. All right. So I'm only saying that because you don't know the dark side of this industry and how it works. So I'm teaching you that because I'm very experienced in this industry, being in every aspect of it. All right. Now it'll be between 10 o'clock, 10:30, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 10:30 p.m. Rest of Standard Time. All right. So I enjoy educating this for everybody. All right. So a common question and a common freak out that a lot of people do is they enter a trade, all right? And they enter a trade and they set a take profit or a stop loss, and the stop loss doesn't execute, or the take profit. In fact, the stop loss moves, and so does the take profit. So, for example, you bought the euro at 130. You set your stop loss at 129.50. The euro tanks during news, and you don't stop out at 129.50. All right? You don't stop out at 129.50. Your trade actually continues to go down to 129.30, and your stop loss moves. All right? Now, you freak out right away, right? Well, they manipulated me. They manipulated me. The broker manipulated me. So you start freaking out on the broker. All right. I set my stop loss at 129.50. Why did it go down to 129.30? Okay. Or you put a take profit in. You buy it at 139. Your take profit is 140. It goes to 140.50 and your take profit moves. All right. A lot of people freak out over this situation, saying they're being B-booked. Okay. Let me actually teach you something. That shows you're being A-booked. Not just A-booked. I can't say it shows you're being A-booked. That means you're on a live liquidity feed. You could still be getting B-booked, but you're getting something called market execution. All right? Market execution and instant execution are extremely different. If during news you put a stop loss in, during turbulent news, and your stop loss gets hit on the dot, that's a cause of concern. You want to know why? There shouldn't be enough liquidity to execute that stop. So for example, non-farm payroll event comes out. The euro was at 111. It drops to 110. And your stop loss, it hits your stop loss, but it doesn't stop out. It goes lower. That's actually a good thing. That actually shows that you're getting market execution because there's no liquidity available at that time. It doesn't mean the broker's hurting you. The broker's hurting you when your stop loss during times of low liquidity gets executed on a dime. That actually goes to show you that the market maker is actually controlling everything on you. All right. So anytime your stop loss moves or your take profit moves during news, it's called slippage. All right. Slippage is extremely important to let you know whether you are being market executed or instantly executed. All right. However, here's a couple factors you need to pay attention to. What some brokers do is they give you the negative slippage. So negative slippage means your stop loss is, so let's say you bought it at 130, your stop loss is 129.50, and it drops, and your stop loss executes at 129.40. So your stop loss actually moved 10 pips more. So you lost an extra 10 pips. That's very normal slippage during news. It is standard because there needs to be a counterparty. When you're closing your buy, someone is buying it from you. Someone is buying that position from you. If the counterparty is not there, if there isn't enough depth of market or liquidity there, there's no one to take that position. So it's going to keep going until it hits a level where someone is ready to purchase from you. You see, if I go and I take my Xbox One, all right, say I got an Xbox One and I bought it for $500. I want to sell it for $450. And I go out there and I start saying $450 for my Xbox One, and no one's there to buy it. My product is naturally going to devalue. When it drops to $420, someone is going to buy it from me. That's my counterparty. All right. Same thing with the actual markets. There has to be a counterparty. There has to be someone offloading that risk. So during turbulent news, you don't have that. People are not in the market. Liquidity is thin. The prime banks or even the PBs, the main LPs, those guys are not providing massive liquidity. So because of that, there is no counterparty to offload your position. A stop loss is only you liquidating your position. So no one is there to take that position from you. So the next level where someone is waiting to buy is where you get liquidated. During times of no news means no fear. When there's news coming out, people liquidate their positions because they don't want to be stuck in a fundamental swing. They don't want to be whipsawed. So when there's no news, the markets are normal. Liquidity is fine. You can execute your stop loss and take profit normally anywhere you want within a fraction of a pip. All right. Now, there's a lot of brokers who have something called standard deviation on their MetaTrader platform, which allows you to have a standard amount of deviation where your stop loss can be set, which is normally 2 pips from the actual entry point. But that has nothing to do with where your stop loss and take profit is executed. If you actually have a trade in turbulent markets and immediately it executes, that means you are actually being manipulated because there's really no counterparty there. You're getting something called instant execution. Instant execution really means your market maker is taking advantage of you. And what happens is they will, same way they're giving you fake prices, they can screw you over. So next time your trade, your take profit or stop loss moves on you, if it's during news, that's okay. You're not being manipulated. That's why you're not supposed to have trades open during news. People get wiped out that way, all right? Now, one thing to keep your eyes out on. The same way your stop loss can go against you, it's called negative spread. There's something called positive spread as well. Positive slippage, negative slippage, and there's positive slippage. The same way, if you have a take profit, so let's say you bought it at 129.50 and your take profit is 130 and it spikes up really high, you might actually get your take profit moved up to your benefit. So you might make an extra 20 pips when your take profit was 20 pips lower. That's called positive slippage. That's called the market slipping in your favor. So there was no one there to buy it from you at 130. They bought it at a better price from you. So you even made more money. When you get too many negative slippages, not backed by positive slippage, that shows a bad broker. When you have positive and negative slippage happening during the time of news, that just means you're doing market execution, all right? Everything is fine. That is very standard, very normal. The next time your stop loss moves during turbulent times, that just means it's market execution. Don't complain. Generally, however, you should never slip more than a maximum of 10 pips. Anything more than 10 pips is the broker adding slippage, okay? The broker also has a system in the background. They can add additional slippage to everything. So they can have a setting created. Every single time news comes out, add 4 pips to the slippage, for example. So if it naturally slips 6 pips, add 4 pips, take those 4 pips, put it in the broker's pocket. But you can notice that with experience and as time progresses, because you should generally never get more than 10 pips slippage, ever. Reality is 10 pips, 10 points is a lot. All right. Liquidity does come back in. So anything more than 10 pips, listen, if something's wrong, call your broker. Say, listen, I was slipped more than 10 pips. But don't snap at them, because market execution has real slippage. That's the real markets. Sometimes no counterparty is there. However, if you consistently get negative slippage and your stop loss keeps slipping, but every time it hits your take profit, it executes right away, even during turbulent news, that means they are pocketing the positive slippage. So when a positive slippage occurs and more money is made, they're keeping it and not giving it to you. When a loss is incurred, they're passing the losses to you. When a profit is made, they're keeping the profits. And some shady brokers do that. So make sure from now on you monitor that. If you have negative slippage, then you should also have positive slippage. But do not freak out on your brokers. Market execution does mean slippage does occur. Completely normal. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tonight on a live session. I love you. Cheers.